how has advanced manufacturing and additive manufacturing enabled agility in the COVID-19 response? We're hearing about it a lot in the news. And so I think it's a topic that folks really want to hear about from your perspectives.
Yeah, I think additive manufacturing has been a really important tool in the response to COVID-19 throughout the country so far. And it's for a few different reasons, I think. Number one is we don't need to change out a bunch of big, expensive tooling to produce new designs. We're changing an STL file and leveraging the fact that it's a digitally driven technology to produce new designs and new items, to repurpose manufacturing equipment to produce something we need that maybe we didn't just the day or week before. Number two is the rapid prototyping nature enables us to iterate on designs really quickly. So we have multiple sites that have established cooperative research and development agreements with hospitals, and they're able to incorporate feedback from those medical professionals and iterate on things like face shields to make them more effective for the end use customer very, very, very quickly. And then the third thing I think is the kind of the hacking maker culture around additive manufacturing. There was an article in the Washington Post yesterday about 3D printing medical swabs, and it cited multiple manufacturers working online in an open environment to make swabs. They were going through 20 designs a day and ultimately had FDA approval in less than 22 days for some of those items. And that culture, I think, is very unique to the maker community, and additive manufacturing is really a mainstay in that community. So it's been really interesting for me to see kind of the CONOPS evolve in this response, where in the initial weeks and days in the immediate response, additive is kind of a quick way to produce face masks and face shields and things like that. And then as kind of the crisis goes on, we're seeing other advanced manufacturing techniques and more traditional tooling have time to get stood up. And so we can make things a little bit more cost effective at a greater scale. But additive has really shown that it's crucial in that kind of initial stage of the response.
All right. Yeah, so it's been a real pleasure to be a part of the SecNav Innovation COVID response team that Ben has been heading up. And I've seen a lot of real fast collaboration happening in this space over the last few weeks. And a lot of people trying really hard to, sort of, I wouldn't say break the rules, but stretch the rules as far as we can to get things in where the need is. So, there's been, NavAir putting technical data packages together, NavC looking into technical aspects of, how can we make these designs better and print things better and get that information out to the members of the team. And then our folks here at NAFAC and XWIC, also working with naval construction groups, working our collaborative partnerships to get to basically be able to produce quickly and get things out to those warfighters that have the need, like on the ships and things like that. So that we've been providing recently. So it's been a pretty good, a quick learn to get this kind of collaboration going. And I think it's been a great, in a sense, this crisis has been a great way to try out some of these collaborative efforts that we've wanted to do across the warfare systems. And I'm sure we can talk in more detail about that too with Ben and other folks.
As you all know, in the services, we really have a bias for action always. And I think AM has really enabled us to take that action, and it's supported bold and decisive leadership that's really allowed us to respond with the necessary sense of urgency and recognizing, that through AM, we really have the potential to provide capabilities that could, no kidding, save lives. So I think it's been really instrumental, and would just reiterate, I think, the key points that Ben mentioned initially, that it's through the digital nature of AM and that we've really been able to approach it in a multi-nodal networked approach. And that supported these incredibly rapid design iterations that have helped us tackle the needs, throughout the country as well as throughout, the globe.
one of the new and really interesting changes that AM brings to the table with that distributed digital collaboration aspect to it is now the ability to provide a material solution. Who makes things within the DoD? It's changed. It's democratized a little bit now, because who has a 3D printer device before? Who had the organic industrial base has a massive amount of production capability. But now if we look at some of the people who are responding to this, it is folks at depots, at FRCs, but then you also have fleet units who traditionally wouldn't be able to manufacture such a volume to be able to respond to the crisis. Like out in Okinawa, there's fleet marine units who are supporting hospitals, whereas on Okinawa there are no depots. There is no organic industrial base out there. So before, whereas if we were to be shipping something in, so the decentralized nature of operations within the Navy and the Marine Corps is now the ability to manufacture solutions is now starting to mirror that. It doesn't necessarily need to be as centralized as it was before.